Hey, welcome back. Yeah, so last time we built a mining rig and we set it up with some control blocks, but I made a mistake. I called that out in the edit. This thing is not going to keep going down. But yeah, it's not going to keep going down. So I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to turn this thing off. So my little drill system is getting turned off. And we're going to make some little tweaks to this, because there is one rather huge problem in here. In the actions, I told it, let's increase the pistons. So that should be set to increase maximum distance. But it doesn't tell the timer clock to do it again, which is kind of silly. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to put a second timer block on, and I'm going to split these pistons up because we have two pistons on here, and as it stands right now they would both go down at the same time, which is quite a big jump. I mean, it's not a problematic jump, but we want to maximize every little bit of stone we can possibly get. So ideally we want to be sort of just trimming off little bits of the surface at a time. So what we're going to need to do is put a second timer block on, so we have one timer block lower the first piston, and then the timer kicks in on the second timer block, which waits for a minute and lowers the second piston, which then tells the first timer block to kick in with the minute timer, and so on. Well, it'll be a minute 15, but let's just get on with doing this. So we want another timer block. Ooh, luckily we've got a nice little space next to it. I might... Ooh, do we put it underneath? I don't know. I kind of want to keep all of our sort of drilling and refinery kit in the same spot here. So I'm going to put it next to it. Let's just... Yeah, this is the right way around. Okay, we need materials for that. There should be plenty of materials sitting around now. Here we go. Right. Put you there. Weld you up. Now there should be a lot less cuts and downtime in this particular edit, because we're not going out mining all the time now. So, right, this is LD automation timer block. This can be LD, hang on, what am I doing? Oh, it's already there, so I just need to put LD at the beginning. Right, okay, that's fine. Good. Now, this one we're going to just change it to do not that. We're going to go with piston 1, LD piston 1, increase maximum distance. Good. And then we want to trigger time block 2, start, not trigger. And then this one is going to do piston 2, increase maximum distance, and then trigger timer block 1, which completes the loop, which is what we were missing on the last occasion. Now we need to set this to 1 minute 15 as well. Make it silent like the other one. And that should do the job between them. So we're going to stop this timer. Stop. I don't think we ever started it, to be honest. We're going to turn you back on. We're going to turn everything else back on. So let's go. Drills on. Pistons on. That should be everything on. That should now be... Yeah, okay, it's not rotating, so we need to turn the rotor back on. Yes, we're good. So yeah, it never went down in the first place because we never actually started the first timer block. So from the minute we start that first timer block, I need to check the maximum distances on everything. So drills, drill, right, okay. Oh no, it's the pistons. Piston 1 is currently set at 0, 0. Yep, all good. Positive, good. Positive, 0, 0. Yep, all good. Right, so all I have to do is start this. And that gets the whole thing going. So now, that should work. Now, what I could do is I could add a second one of these and have one of them work for the amount of cargo needed to stop the system, and another one for a lower threshold on where to start the system again. But to be honest, you know, because at the moment it will do like the borderline bit where it goes start, stop, start, stop, start, stop quite a lot. It may even have a problem of it might not start again after it stops because it's a crossing the threshold thing rather than something else. So yeah, I am actually going to put another one of those in and make this edit. So and we'll put it well, I don't think we'll put it there because it will get in the way of this port, so we'll put it under the other one in the floor. So we'll place, oh, we could place it on top. So we'll cluster all this together above the floor so it's serviceable. Because like, what's there? I mean, literally there's nothing. Yeah, I'm not like super duper bothered about all this. I mean, we can get up onto there to service, so. And the problem with this part is like it doesn't properly line up with that entrance there. In previous testing, they might have tweaked it. It might be working now, but to be honest, I don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on there. Okay, so this one is called LD Event Controller, and that one should be LD Event Controller 2. I'm going to call, yeah, that's fine. Right, so this one is set so when the cargo is equal or greater than 50%, so as soon as it crosses the 50% threshold with these cargo containers together, that's why the AND gate's on there, they've both got to meet the rule. Then it'll stop the system. But it'll also say when that rule's no longer true again, it will start the system again. I don't want it to do that. So this bit here with starting the system, I want to remove. Now on the other one, I can reach that, nice. I want the same thing, but I want it to only start the system back up when we get down to say 40%. So it's not like stop, 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 stop. It's like a 10% boundary in there. So once it falls down, so once it is less than or equal to 40%, yeah, that should be fine. So once it falls below that point after it's stopped, then we're going to start the system up again. And I might actually tweak these ratios at some point, but you know, so cargo container, add those into the group, and gate on there, take the cockpit out because that shouldn't have been in there. And then for actions, what we're going to do is say when it's true, little drill, yeah, that one. We're going to turn it back on. So that now should work. So this here should be going right. Yeah, it's extending, and it'll be extending them alternately. So not both at the same time, but one will extend, then the other will extend on the next pass. And once this has like got enough stone to fill the cargo container up to 50%, it will turn off until the cargo containers are back down to 40%. research base. So that fixes this system, hopefully. Now, I've also been thinking about what to do with when these get to all the way down. We've got two options. We could retract them, start them again with more drills on the end, and put some rules in place or some sensors on that rotates the rotor the other way when it gets close to this pillar. We can do that. But I could also build in a system where we can use this as an elevator to get back down to the bottom. And once we're at the bottom, we could detach that, retract these, add a few more pistons on, and then go again. But maybe we should do both. So we'll take this to its limit. We'll extend the drills out a bit. We'll put a rule in that stops it from trying to hit this pillar and tells it to revert. And then once that's maxed out, rather than extending out even further and causing problems for the pistons and the rotor, we'll work out how to extend it at the bottom so we can go deeper. So that's a problem for another time. Right now though, the biggest thing we have to do is start working on the rest of this base. Now, building all of this in is going to be problematic without some kind of a lifting vehicle, so we're going to need to create something. Now, I could do it small grid or I could do it large grid. Here's the pros and cons. So like, if I do it small grid, it's going to be less resource intense, it's going to be a little bit smaller, easier to get into little nooks and crannies. It will need more pistons and such to get up that high. This is very high. I think 5 pistons would get us up to like 4 of these. So you'd really need about 9 pistons somehow. The other problem is that the pistons won't carry larger components like steel plate. They are small conveyors. So that would make it a little difficult to have like a base at the bottom with cargo on it, which is kind of what I want. So I think we'll do this large grid. It is a bit more tricky, but it means less pistons to mess around with. We can make it heavier so that we can have a lot more cargo in it and have the sort of cage thing that I stand in offset slightly from the main grid, so we can get closer to the wall without having to sort of lean it over. And it'll be able to carry a lot more cargo. Oh, I'm thirsty. Right, where are we at with these now? Once I've run out this water, that's going to be quick, isn't it? Why is that in a large... That's in a large cargo container over there, that water. Okay. Bit odd, don't know how it all got there. Need to take some food in. I think it's going to be also time to, very soon at least, time to produce some better food and water facilities. Alright, let's get our water out of here. Use that up. Do you know what, I'm just going to keep these rations on me. Oh, that's all the way over there. Keep these rations on me and keep that water on me. This wastewater can go there, that organic can go there. Okay, we're reasonable on water for the time being. Right. So I'm just going to get some floor down on here. It is kind of bugging me that I've got this like stuff down here that's not. This part of the floor can actually be interior plate. Do we want to make it interior plate? It's technically a little bit cheaper, maybe. but it's a pain in the neck on resource. Now we're going to go steel plate, because interior plate is kind of cool, but it's an absolute nightmare on keeping resources in your inventory. You can't just like do it on one type of resource. We're not really, I'm going to have to close. Oh Christ, that was already closed. And we are not going to really need to worry too much about having iron or anything like that available. Stormy. Was that thunder? Or was that in my imagination? I'm going to reserve this space for batteries. Okay, that's at least that lot sorted. Right, let's check the weather forecast. I think this might just be a dust storm, but it's kind of hard to tell. Sandstorm, yeah, that's fine. Right, tons of power coming in here. I think we need to get another battery built. So I keep getting distracted from what I'm supposed to be doing here, but like, you know. Let's do 2. G battery. Okay. Since these are reserved, I will start placing these down. I don't know why I'm fussy about this. It's like, it's not like I'm going to be able to actually walk around here. I'm actually going to place these this way. Where is it? All the wrong buttons. There it is. And it resets. Yeah, I had that T thing turned on. If you press T, it changes the way it actually rotates when you, by default, when you put it down. So, did that? No, it didn't even put it in the real plan like that. That's going to bottom out pretty damn quick. You'll probably do it before it even needs to turn off. The whole turning off rule thing is not like I want it to turn off, it's more like I just don't want it to fill up the cargo all the way. Yeah, they're nearly a third the way down each. Fair way to go. Come on. Right, check production. How are we going on? Oh, it's working way through it. Slowly. Right, so while we're waiting for that, let's have a think about how we're going to build this thing. So, this large lifter, I want it to be suitable for like different types of buildings, maybe even taller ones than this potentially, because at some point we may actually need to sort of take it out somewhere and build a larger version of this. So the way I want to do it is I want to have a nice big flat base, something that's like kind of like a flatbed sort of, you know, those trucks that you can use to push and pull planes around, tugs. So something along those lines, very heavy. It'll have its batteries and everything all down at a low level. plenty of cargo on that side. So the main truck thing is going to be the bit you drive and the cargo. And then off that we'll have an array of pistons that does kind of like a U shape, so that some can go up, some can go down, and that way you can get double the height and like half the space. I will probably want to put a hinge on that so I can flatten it down for driving it around, so it's not always up. But in the upright position, the idea is the pistons are close to the side edge of it, and the basket kind of hangs over the side. So by default, when it's all up and sort of contracted, the basket's down at ground level, so I can just like hop on, maybe via a ladder or something, and have controls that just control the pistons to go up and down. And to go forward and backwards, you just basically control the vehicle itself, which would mean it technically would be getting into the cockpit. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Unless I use a subgrid script to actually be able to control the wheels. Potentially I could just basically use overrides to drive the wheels forward and backwards, but we can work that out later. The alternative way of doing this whole thing is to build a flying lifter, which is a bit risky. You don't have much of a height limit then, but you do have a massive cargo limitation there, and it's a lot of back forward to get cargo, which isn't much better than just running up and down a ladder at the end of the day. So it's like, it'll probably be less speedy. So I'm going along the lines of like some sort of ground vehicle. I don't build enough of those, so this is probably going to go wrong, but it's good experience. But if we can pull it off, it'll be like very multiple usable. So we could use this on a number of projects. Boom. 2 batteries in. Right, that's going to help us keep that power conserved. At some point it might also be a very good idea to build a second sort of run down here, just to keep that connected to this, in case like the pipeline gets hit by an asteroid or something. Well, a meteor technically. That's come down really far already. Yeah. Let's see how our cargoes are. Large, right. We're nowhere near full. Got a bit of stone in there. We're doing okay on materials, I think. A little bit. 23k of iron sitting there. Let's have a look at, let's hide the empties. Let's have a look at our refinery. Still got a bit of magnesium sitting there, but the stone's sort of dominating the front of this at the moment automatically. 138k of stone. Yeah, that's kind of hovering because this is ploughing through it pretty quick. Okay. That is fine. There's plenty of things we could use this hole for. Oh, I can see the bottom of the hole now. It's not that far down, really. Well, it's quite far down, but it's like not far compared to what we're used to. So when this bottoms out, I think we definitely will widen it, because I'd like to be able to actually... Oh no, we are going to touch the ice, I think. Is that ice? They might be veins of ice. Ice. 4.3k. Are the drills touching ice at all? Let's have a look. I'm not seeing any ice coming in on the drills. It might be on the wrong part of the circle, but okay, it must be on the 15-second overlap. Now it's pulling in again. Yeah, maybe it isn't. Okay, so how far do we have to go to get to the ice? Kind of really want to know. Yeah, I think those bits there are just like these bits here, which are nothing. That's the ice over here. So To come out from there to here is only like 2 or 3 more drills. I would like to be able to pull ice in at the same time. Right. Somewhere around here we're going to need like a water treatment facility. Now I want to really keep a lot of this space for like an additional refinery and assembler at some point. So in here we'd probably put another refinery in and another assembler. What's that? 4K? Oh, it's that. Keeps freaking me out, that. I'm gonna put my things on like normal view. Right. Okay, so yeah, another assembler and another refinery in here. The bottom of this will probably actually continue to be assemblers and refineries eventually, and we'll put the actual like bay in the upper floor and put a ladder down, so we can use more of this bottom space. The refinery doesn't leave a lot of room for that, but maybe what we could do at that point is we could take the assemblers out of here. No, because that means moving all of this, which means reprogramming the whole thing again. Maybe 2 refineries and 2 assemblers is enough. And then we keep this as make it possibly even make it a double decker. If we need more space for all of this, we could eventually build out a second hangar space and then sort of take up all of this room here, so we could expand in. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Right. Let us... Water. Yeah, water's coming down. Okay, before I build this lifter, we need to put some water facilities in here. That's what we were just talking about. Do I just put it on here, on the pod? Probably not, because we're not really going to keep putting ice and stuff in there. So I think a good place to put it. Now I want some space to walk around here. So we've got this space here to walk for repairs. These are going to be modules. We'll need this space here to walk on, which leaves this space here for some temporary water management stuff. And we can then take it all out and move it into the habitation area eventually. So for the moment, let's get a toolbar up, clear some of this stuff off. Right, and have a look at our daily needs thing and see what we actually need right now. Well, we're going to get off using that. We should have done that ages ago, but you know what? We had other priorities. Water recycler there, yep, that's fine. And we definitely need the food resequencer as well. I think those will do just for the moment. There's plenty more we can do with it, but first things first, we just need to make sure we've got the basics in there. Now I do believe that all of the sides on this are technically conveyors. Let's have a think about this. We're going to be able to pipe over onto it. So I will put that dead level with that. And we will place the other one next to it because it's going to be like immediately accessible. So that's the water. Yeah, you can access from that side. Right, and the food resequencer can go immediately next to it. Now, we're not going to just go, boom, pipe straight in, because what it will start doing is use... maybe for now it can use all of the water, all of the ice. I'm a little concerned that maybe we manually move the ice in, because it is basically a refinery. So it will use up all of the ice it can to make water. But I do need to... No, we can do that for now. That's absolutely fine. We are eventually going to need to start stockpiling ice for hydrogen, because we need to make a break for the sky at some point. Where's all... Oh yeah, we're still seeing an asteroid. That's fine. The closer ones are still in view for now. There's a few here. So that's good. Okay, so... let's see where we got... Yeah, there we are. Right. I think what we do, we manually feed it... Yeah.
Energy low.
Ooh, energy. Right. What we'll do is we'll manually feed the system with ice, but we're going to put a sorter in, which is one way, so it can pipe back. We can pull like other stuff through it from the cargo containers, but it won't put... Let me just try explaining that again, because that was completely hash. So I think what we'll do is we'll allow manual feeding of ice only, using a sorter to prevent flow from the cargo container to the water system, but it will allow for stuff to pass the other way into the cargo containers from the water system. So I think that sorts that out. That way we can then control how much we're making, rather than just absent-mindedly using up all the ice, because we are eventually going to have to stockpile ice for our trip up. And I have some ideas on how to do this a bit more economically. I don't really want to be going up and down, up and down, up and down, pulling resources from space and bringing it down here, because that's going to use a lot more ice than what we probably can afford, unless I strike lucky and somewhere really nearby there's a massive asteroid out there. We'll have to see. Right. Pipeys. Now, somebody did say we could pipe underground. I kind of like the idea, but I don't really want that aesthetic in this base. This is the industrial sort of section. I want everything to be all kind of pipes. So what we're going to do is go like this. If I do that, that's wrong. Where's the sorter? There it is. Right, which way is that? Oh, that's the wrong way. We want to go that way. I'm going to place it that way up, just for the fun of it. Right. How did we do on stone? Ooh, 1,000,000 stone. That's nearly full. So the fact that that's nearly full, but that's nearly empty, that tells me that... yeah, that's good. It's not going to shut off just when one of them gets half full. As soon as that one starts getting to the point where it's like half full, then they'll both meet the rule of we're both over 50%, and it will shut off until they both are below the threshold. And that means we won't need to keep constantly buying, you know, like making loads more cargo containers. Here we go. Right, so that's the way around. It's remembered because of the T rule. We are going to get around to starting this lifter. Right, and then we need just a simple shape. I think we're going to go with a T junction on here so we can keep our options open with it. That way, more options. Yeah. We may actually have to put some programmable blocks in this system so that we can keep a certain amount of certain types of resources available, just to speed things up for us. Now that we've got reliable power. Come on, it should not take this long to make like one pipe. There we go. Right, we don't need to play with rules or anything on this much. I think it's just a case of making sure it's not on something silly. But there's nothing, that's fine. So that'll allow everything to come through. Yeah. I'm not going to tell it to auto move anything. I just want the ability to pull things through, but I don't want it to be able to pull ice by itself. So, right. Now what I need to do is start feeding this with the ice that we do have, though. So, put that. Oh, actually, no, let's start. Oh, it's all the way in our cockpit. Okay, fair enough. First thing, let's just gather what we can gather here. So let's go to this ship only and hide empty. We have some ice, so I will put that in here. That's just, yeah, that immediately plows straight through that. Good. Just going to drop that organic in there now. What else can we get from here? Hide empty. We had a bit more ice in here, but there's grey water actually. And there's all these organics. And the remainder of the ice. Okay, let's put all that in. So the remaining ice goes in. We just made 150 water. I should have done this ages ago. I'm sure everybody's telling me that already. Now let's pull what we can from these. So, okay, grey water. More organics. Got a bunch of this stuff in here as well. So we'll get this lot out. Don't need any of this in here. Keep some of that for now. Just anything that could be actually actively doing something else right away can be doing this instead. Right. Okay, so now in here, I'm going to put the water recycling system there. We're going to just drop that in there for the moment. We'll figure out what to do with it all later. And the ice can go in there as well. And in here, that's full, that one. That one's not. Right. That is approaching 50%, so this should stop soon. I'm going to wait and just see if it does. Yeah, that's perfect. So now that should stay stopped until we've refined enough of what we've already gathered to drop both of those cargo containers down to below 40%. Now eventually we're going to have to adjust that rule. Why can't I jump over that? There we go. We eventually are going to have to adjust that rule, because sooner or later we're going to end up with so much iron and stuff that at least one of these cargo containers is going to end up being above quite a decent percentage. So what we may do once we've sort of fully built this out and we know we've got the space sorted out, and we've moved these out of here, along this side here we'll probably put some sorting facilities in, so we'll have like these cargo containers for raw materials in only, and on the other side here we'll move any refined materials out to another set of cargo containers, maybe a little higher up here somewhere, which keeps all of this like out the way then. That's off, but that's not. That's a bit worrying. But it doesn't matter, because that tells that to go, and that will not tell this to go again. But I do want to add that into the group, so we'll turn that off in a minute. LD little drill needs that add into it. Right, perfect. Okay, So yeah, sooner or later what we'll do is we'll have like a process, so raw materials in, production of raw materials, and then in the bottom of here we'll have raw materials out. So this bit will be like raw materials out, and then above that will be the main hangar bay, until maybe we decide we need a hangar bay elsewhere. The water facilities will be moved out into a water processing plant, food and water, hydroponics, all of that, which will be a bit closer to where the habitation is going to be. And we will probably reuse this hole for some sort of a bunker, like a safe place, especially once it's deeper, so that like any meteor strikes are unlikely to go straight into it. Possibly as a rocket silo for launching, so we can actually build our space vehicle without risk of it being destroyed. We're going to need like a lift system, but we kind of already have this, so this would make a decent lift system. What we may need to do is sort of potentially, well, it depends. If the hole's big enough, we won't need to worry about this being dead center in the hole, because we can work on either side of it. We would just basically lock off the rotor so it doesn't turn, and we just turn, you know, remove these and turn it into like a catwalk. You can just walk on and then hit a button and boom, you go down. Or we can make it automatic potentially. We could even make this like multiple levels, but I think we save that sort of idea of like having multiple level lifts and underground base and stuff when we get to the Earth, like at the end, because that can be like stretch work. If we're still alive at that point, we can carry on with all of that. Right now we should be focusing on the goal of actually getting there and building an initial base. 3.9 kilometers away, not too bothered. Right. Let's start working on this thing. So what I'm going to need to do to start, we need to get the base done. That's before we do anything else. So we need to get the base of this lifter done. I'm going to start with something connected to here. It doesn't have to be connected via anything special, so it can just be a steel plate or something. I'm going to need to put some stuff into production just to start here. Let's see. I'm just all over the place right now. Industrial assembler, we're already on it. Let's make a few hundred steel plates. Just make loads. That can just work its way through those. Right, we've got a bunch of them now. How many have we got? 27. It's enough to get started. Right, so wheels wise, it doesn't need this thing. What's it got to go over? Mostly flat ground around here. No significant rises in terrain, no major bumps or anything. I think the hardest thing for it to traverse over will be this. It's going to have to go over here, which we can put a little ramp on either side of this, so we can go over this bump, so we can get around this part. It's going to have to try and fit in this space, which is like, what, how many blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If not, it's not the end of the world. So wheels don't need to be massive. So if we go like, let's see, what size wheels have we got in large grid here? Let's get our shopping list on here. So wheels, I'm thinking like 2x2s. Yeah. Where's these new ones? Short suspension. Left, right, 3x3, 5x5. 5x5 is friggin' huge. Right, where's all our 2x2s? So let's just type search 2x2. Right. Left, right. These ones, I think. Left, right. Let's have a look at how this looks. Yeah, it's like not absolutely huge. Only uses one block. Whereas the other types, yeah, let's go that one, stick out miles. So we're not going to use those, because that causes loads of trouble. Right, so we're going to go with 2x2s. Let's have a look. A 2x2 sticks up by about that much. So it would probably do like, what, half a block down, half a block up above that. So that should, let's just place it and see if that actually would produce the wheel. Do you know what? That is ideal. Right, so wheel height will be there. So if we come off this way, is there a slope in here that I have to worry about? Yes. Are we better off doing it down here? Or maybe, I think we do it off here. Or down here. Yeesh. Yeah, we'll build it off here, because it slopes the other way. So, wheel height. So we're going to just like come out a little bit just to give us some space here. We're not going to want to go super wide, so we're not going to come in contact with the tree. That's fine. This thing is, the base of it is going to be largely stuff like batteries and stuff, because it's got to be heavy so it doesn't tip over. So we're going to do this in a way that we can actually read the battery percentages somehow. If we've got 6 wide width maximum, if we go 1, 2, 3, that's 4, 5 with the wheels, that's really pushing it. We can't get the basket down at that point. So the interior side of it really needs to be maximum of 3. So that would mean putting the wheels pretty much directly onto the batteries nearly. So we're going to start the batteries from here. 2, 3. It's not going to be really big. It's going to have lots of power, because this will also act as like a battery backup for the base. Now we already ended up 5 wide there. Basket can be small grid. It's like over here we really don't have much room to pass. 5, 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. It's a squeeze. But we could do this 3 wide. I mean, there's a reason why I'm not doing this small grid, as I explained earlier. If I do it small grid, you can't pass steel plates through pistons or conveyors or any of that. We could make the interior, if I made the interior base like 1 wide, it just looks awful. Right, okay, I'm just going to carry on with this. Right, so that's 3 and 3. We're going to have to put some cargo in here. We don't need huge cargo containers. We just need cargo containers that work. So 1. Oh, I need interior plates. Right, okay. Hopefully that's enough to build a couple of these into here. 1, 2. 2 cargo containers. Open my visor. Right. It's going to need more than 2. So for the minute I'm going to just fill these in. And what I can do is remove, not you, you. Put that in there. Right. So 3 cargo container core, large grid. That's a reasonable amount of resources, I think, and that's going to be, this is going to be heavy, like seriously heavy, this core. It's going to need, I think we can do one more cargo container. One there. We will eventually replace the, we can't eventually replace anything because anything I build onto this. Ideally I would have wanted that to be a cargo container as well. Can I replace? Yeah, I can replace that. 1, 2. Yeah, that is bang on. Right. So there's our core. A line of cargo containers which carries the conveyor through. 3 batteries on either side for ballast and a lot of power. The end one is a cargo container which we can put some sort of a connector on. I want to put the wheels onto these spaces so that it doesn't come out too far. So let's see, we need to go right for this one. This is the rear. I have no idea which way's up and which way's down on these. Is there any marking that tells me? I see absolutely nothing that tells me which way's up and which way's down. Oh, it's got the thing there. Does that go on the top or the bottom? Ooh, I don't know. Suspension. I'm going to put it on the top. I could be completely wrong. Okay, that sticking out there is not so bad. No, I just did right. Okay. Let's get the... This is the right hand side for right. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. It's just about wheel tread patterns. Driving wise it's the same. Now because these wheels stick out the front a little bit, it means that's a nice little bumper. Put our lefts on. I could do multiple to stop us from beaching, like put something in the middle as well, but honestly for something this simple that would be probably counterproductive. We also need space to be able to sort of bring our basket down into it, so it's going to overhang past these wheels on one side. I think we do that on this side here, so it can work its way around here clockwise. with the basket always on the right hand side of it. So that's this side. Okay, so that's the base of it. This is huge. I mean, a small grid one would have been nice and elegant, but we're building big stuff. So to build big stuff, you need big stuff. Right. Now what we need to do is like put all this into production. So I roughly know what's in that. So I should be able to just queue it all up in here. So let's see. 2 by 2. Well, they're always separate. It's the off-road type. So 3, 4 of them. Suspensions, it's the short type. 1, 2, 3, 4. Battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cargo. It's a small cargo container. 2, 3, 4, 5. That pretty much covers everything we haven't already built. Right, let's see how we're doing for food and water stuff now. So, water-wise, food-wise, we're doing nothing. What can we make here? We're going to need other facilities to make a lot of that. Synth food is probably the best thing we can make at the moment. Yeah. So that's organics, gravel, and drinking water packets. Right, good. Why does the water recycling system have to be all the way down there? Okay, food protein resequencer was there, so we definitely need organics in there. We need gravel in there. Let's find some more gravel. Why am I dying? O2 just dropped massively. Another sandstorm. You know what? I can do all this from in here, so I can move these things around. Right, so this side I want to look for food, and this side, so the food protein. There we are. And this side I'm looking for gravel. I'm not bothered about it just being this ship. I do want to hide empty though. Right. So gravel wise, there's plenty of it there. That won't move. Oh, I can't move stuff in. It has to be manually. Duh. Okay. Because of that sorter, of course. I don't want gravel automatically passing the sorter either, because it will literally just fill up the protein sequencer and it'll be like useless. So food, there's no point in doing that. I just need myself here. Let's focus. I'm looking for gravel. Let's grab as much of that as I can actually carry. That'll be plenty for the time being. Here we go. Food protein, but gravel. Bit more of that. Now we need drinking water packets. We're going to split that. 150 of those. Why can't I move that? Oh, it's full. I've filled it up. Because I'm a plonker. Okay, so let's find our cargo container here. Oh, that'll do. Let's move like 500 of that over there. Water. Put as much of that there as I can. Yeah. Take. No. That's probably fine. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Make a bunch of food. Right, now personal inventory. Let's just get all this out of the way. We've still got some emergency rations sitting around. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to put like 5 water litres in there for now. Okay, water sequencer system. Wastewater goes in there. Okay, and our gravel can go back into here. Right. So now we should be okay for a little while. That's enough for like a couple of top hops in there. At some point soon I could do putting like a seat down. So I can force eating and drinking. God, this is a storm and a half. Look at that. Right, what's in here? So take that off. We'll start with the wheels. They're huge. Woohoo. You'll probably notice I've not painted anything any other colour at the moment. We're going to come back to that at some point. Right now we just want to get our main facilities in place, and then once we've got those together we can start really considering aesthetics and colour and things. Then once we're in a position where we have most of the essential things we need, we can really start looking at, you know, doing everything from then on from a much more aesthetic point of view. This build I do want to have a certain amount of aesthetics to it, but we do have the paint gun mod in, so we can sort of paint it up later without having to worry too much about stuff. I am wondering if this is the wrong way around. Let's have a look. Offset. Height offset. Wheels down, wheels up. Okay, height offset actually is working the right way round now. So if you put the little doubly things at the top, your height offset goes the way you think it should. If you put them at the bottom, the height offset's reversed. That's really the only difference. It'll still work. Right, so let's get 4 of those onto build planner. At some point we are really going to need to think about putting some defences in here as well. Right now we're kind of lucky nothing's come. So I think one of the first challenges for this lifter will be to get us into a position where we have turrets somewhere near the roof. Ta-da. These new wheel suspensions are so much better. Don't stick all the way out. So you can have builds like this that actually look a bit more reasonable. I mean, beforehand that wheel would have been like all the way out here somewhere. It's much more compact. Pop a little arch over the top and do something, but I think we want to keep this as low as we can. Yeah, that's fine. Got loads of room underneath for like welding all this lot up. So, right, what's next for us? I think the next thing is the batteries, because they'll be charging and making use of this wind. That's one. That's 3. That's interesting. There's no power cells in the production queue, but we're short, and we definitely queued up 6 of those batteries.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh crap. Time to hide underground. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Is that it? Okay, we got our first meteor storm. The sky fell. Is there any damage? This all looks okay. That's fine. This is all fine. This is all fine. Didn't help that it happened while there was a storm on. I couldn't actually see anything. Okay, I think we got lucky. It came down but didn't hit us. We'll probably find some meteorite craters somewhere nearby with a little bit of random material sitting in it. Right, so we got this problem of having loads of like power shit missing. It could be that I didn't actually press it as many times as I thought. It didn't register some of them. But yeah, for certain what I need to do is take these off. Right, that's done. So that's the 4th. It's you and you that need to be put into production. I will definitely have to look into the subgrid control script. I'm already aware of it. I just need to sort of look into how to use it properly. Because it would be nice to be able to drive this thing from the basket. Save us constantly getting out. Well, we got our first meteor storm. That's cool. And a little bit scary because one could take out something important on here anytime, like our survival kit. Hopefully that's actually going to be enough to weld this up. Yep. Yay for build planner for a change. We'll get the cargo containers filled up. Well, built up. So, okay. 1, 2. That weather stopped suddenly. 3, 4, 5. That was very sudden. Normally it's a slightly better transition. Oh, there's iron over there. Why didn't we find that before? That's weird. Oh, that's where the meteor landed. It brought iron with it. It'd probably be just a trace amount now. Right, so that's the very base of our lifter vehicle. This is where all the weight is. It can be lowered a little bit, but not too much. I mean, these suspensions do come fairly close to being in the way. Not too bad. I mean, obviously the wheels will have to come a little bit lower than the suspension's there, so that's kind of like minimum height already. Some of this bottom space we could actually use as like sump guard space, but I think these are not collidable, so these are not going to hit anything. I just don't like it looking like it will. So yeah, maybe we won't put too much on the bottom here, maybe just put like a little bit of plate on the bottom to protect it. But the idea basically will be that we will have on top of here some kind of a piston arrangement that goes like up and back down, so that what we can do is we can compress some, expand others to get more height. That way we're not just stacking a ton of pistons on top of each other. How many are we going to need to cover this? I mean, one piston covers 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of these total. So we need at least 2 pistons. Maybe we don't need so many going up and down. Maybe we could just get away with like 2 piston. Actually, it has to be able to come down lower than this. Yeah, what we're going to have to do is build up and then extend the piston down so that it can reach the floor with the basket. Okay, we'll figure that out. But I think what we'll do is we'll work that out next time. So what we've done this time, just to recap, we have our food and water systems here a little bit better than before. So we're now kind of like less at risk. We fixed this system up so it actually does extend properly, but it does like 1 piston at a time instead of doing both at the same time. It's not all the way there yet. It's on pause right now automatically because the cargo got more than 50% full. So once it comes down to 40% or less, so once everything's been fully refined and it's empty enough to warrant drilling more, it will drill more. Let's have a look at these cargo containers. It's looking at these. So this pile here, I think that one's already well below. This one here, once it gets down to below, I would guess probably about 150,000, the drill should start filling up again, and it won't stop again until it gets to 50% again on both of these. So it will pull a lot in, and then it will go back to sort of refining that back down again while it's paused. So we've got all that done. We have the base of our lifter now, and we had a little incident. Let's go and have a look. Where the sky fell and I hid like a brave coward. But wouldn't you if this was coming for you? There's a little bit of iron in there. How lovely. You don't get a lot. Iron marker's gone, that's all the iron. How much did we get?
Low.
269 iron ore. It's better than nothing. It's getting night time now. We have a few target asteroids still visible to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it here, and next time we will build the lifter arm for this and a little basket thing, and then start actually building out this frame properly, just to protect our stuff. Hopefully not get killed by asteroids, hunger, weather, idiocy. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see you next time.